So today what we're going to do is actually perform what we call a hex press. So today on the hex press, we're going to focus on the pectorals. It's a different form. It takes away from mainly a push motion, or press motion, I should say. All right, so what we're going to do is you can do this either with a plate or with a dumbbell. Dumbbells are always safe to get started, and then you can advance to a plate. So we're going to get Crystal to show you guys exactly what a hex press would look like. So we're going to do, you can do this either on an incline of a higher formation, or even a flat bench press, or even a decline bench. So what we're going to do is get Crystal to lay on this slightly elevated incline press. All right, so what we're going to do is going to get Crystal laid down. Her feet are well supported, clearly. All right, her back's well supported on this incline bench. What we're going to do is get Crystal to raise these dumbbells up into her chest region. The aim of the game here is not to do a press. What we're going to do is actually squeeze. So the aim of the game here is actually not the weight, it's actually the contraction of the muscle. So what you want to pretty much picture is when you're in this position, you want to squeeze your dumbbells together, or your plate, as hard as you can. So that way, if I was to apply this open, she can't open it because she's forcing that hard. So that's the aim of the game. A good analogy to really get the chest to fire is pretty much picture you're squeezing your thumbs together as hard as you can. All right, and that will really get the chest flowing. Because sometimes when you just press like that, you can flex a lot with the shoulders, biceps, but your chest won't actually be engaged. So the good idea is to pinch your thumbs together as hard as you can and let your chest draw your elbows together. Or even focus on trying to get your elbows to touch to each other. All right, there's some good analogies that you can think of whilst performing this exercise. So the weight's nice and light, so we've only got an 8 kilo dumbbell, which Crystal is quite strong, so she can handle this kind of weight. But I recommend starting off with about a 2.5 kilo plate, or even a 5 kilo dumbbell max. Alrighty, so Crystal's gonna squeeze these two together. You wanna make sure the dumbbells are in line, that way you don't slip off each other. All right, now what we're gonna do is make sure these are centered in the middle of her body. Okay, now what I'm gonna get Crystal to do is squeeze as hard as she can, using those analogies that I've just taught you, and then we're gonna drive all the way to the top. Good, now nice and slowly, we're gonna take the stretch down. And this point in the game is you wanna flare and let your elbows fully relax by the body. That way what it does is it removes any elastic energy coming from the muscles that are under obviously the load. That way you'll get the stretch, which is what we want. And then we're gonna utilize the contraction again. Good. And we want to focus on that full stretch again. Coming through, squeeze the thumbs together, squeeze the elbows together, boom, power on. Good, and as you can probably, can't really see too well because she's in a shirt, but she does get really nice chest separations during this exercise. And then if I was to just simply go up to the top, if I was simply trying to pull that apart with my fingers, you don't want to go too crazy. And it won't move apart because she's squeezing that hard. And as you can see, if you come in nice and close, she's actually got that much sheer force that her arms shake. That's how you know you're actually contracting, is when you're shaking under such a low threshold of an 8 kilo dumbbell. And squeeze, boom, power. And as again, I just double check, I can't separate these weights. And that is exactly how we're gonna perform a hex press.